Hey guys, welcome to Newswave. Hope you're having a good day today. It's Thursday, and what's really cool about today, later on, or maybe even right now when you're seeing this, Nintendo's releasing their financial reports for the fiscal year that just passed. So we're going to see all kinds of stuff about the Switch, so stay tuned on that, because I'll do a whole video probably just on that alone. Now, there's some other stuff I want to talk about today that really has happened recently in the gaming world, so let's get started. First thing to talk about today is Atlus, and they came out and essentially rescinded some of their restrictions on Persona 5. Remember how there was this whole thing where they were threatening to strike people's channels down and claim people's videos if they went too far? I think it was like if you go past 7.7 in Persona 5 and stream it or put video up about it, they were going to basically destroy your form of communication, whether it's a channel or a Twitch stream or who knows. Either way, they were basically threatening people and saying that they would take action on your account. Well, it looks like now they are not only issuing an apology, they are also loosening the restrictions a bit for streamers and gamers. And this is a quote that they put out on Atlus.com, just talking about it. They said, "To our surprise, we then saw numerous reactive news articles go up, opinion videos post, and received many emails asking us to please change our Persona 5 streaming video policy. We recognize that our fans are the reason why the game is the major worldwide success it is, and we continue to want them to be able to enjoy the game without fear of being spoiled. However, we also heard your issues with the guidelines and have decided to revise them. Because we want to give players the most access to the game while respecting the original goal, we're now asking players to refrain from streaming or posting video past the end of the in-game date of 11/19 when the main story gears up for the final act." I'm fine with Atlus trying to protect the game in general, like I said before, and this is good because they at least recognize that there was some backlash. People were not happy, and it's kind of funny that they cite video game sites and probably YouTubers and stuff, Twitch streamers that were voicing their opinion on this. And you know what? At least they moved it forward a little bit, going from like 7.7 to 11.19, while not a huge gap, is at least them seemingly just protecting the end of the game, and I can at least understand that. I wish there were different ways to go about it other than striking people's channels, because they did say we were warned. They did kind of give us that threat, but I like that they have at least opened it up a little bit. I would not be concerned myself about streaming Persona 5 anymore, because I have a feeling, playing through it, 11.19 is much closer to the end of the game than 7.7, so I am okay with this to an extent. Now, if they start actually killing people's channels over a game like this being spoiled, that's taking it a little far, especially since it's been out a while now. People have probably had enough time to either get through it or have it spoiled elsewhere. Forums, all kinds of places, Discords, you can get it spoiled everywhere. So at this point, it's okay with me to stream the entire thing, but at least they're giving us some leeway here rather than just striking down after you get past 7.7. Then we got our first look at Call of Duty WW2 officially. Now, we've seen so much stuff about Call of Duty, obviously, from all of the marketing stuff, material that was just completely leaked. I don't know how they can't protect this, or I guess they just sent it out too early. Most of that material is probably up now in stores since they've had their stream. And it was an okay stream for the most part. They didn't show us a lot of actual gameplay. They did more interviews and appearances and stuff by developers and talked about how much time they're putting into the research, which is fine. If they actually make it interesting and historical, I'm on board. I will try it. It could be fun. But they also showed us a few things such as, like, for example, they're not going to have regen health. You're going to have to find either a med pack or a medic. And they're going to also have, apparently, male and female soldiers. So there's some interesting stuff they're trying to do here, which is really cool. And of course, they also gave us that big flash of Nazi zombies coming back. So that's really cool too, I think. Now, they're going to have a couple different, obviously, they're going to have a more historical campaign. It seems like Nazi zombies are more of like the offshoot, like a co-op mode or something. It sounds like they want to keep the campaign as realistic as possible. I would prefer that. Don't get crazy where they're like making zombies to fight you in the campaign and stuff. I would not get that fantastical. Keep it down to earth. You're on the right track here. Make it an interesting story. Give the guys backstories. I'm sure probably kill most of them off as you go through, since World War II was brutal, obviously. Demonstrate that as much as you can. And let's just have fun with a Call of Duty game for once. It's been a little while, I think, since I've played a Call of Duty game and enjoyed myself, but I can see myself in this World War II era type game actually having fun and being interested in the story. Oh, and real quick update on Nintendo Switch stock. GameStop is getting them, a bunch of them back in now. So their idea here was to get them back in stock for Mario Kart 8. Apparently they are getting them in, but they're not selling them online. It is in-store only. So if you are near a GameStop, call them if you really want your Switch or you really want to get one for Mario Kart 8 and see if they have them. Because if they do, you might be able to get one like now. So I would call immediately, see if they have any Switches in stock, and if they do, I would run over there and pick it up right away, because Mario Kart 8 is going to do nothing but ignite Switch sales when people start getting interested in it that don't have a Switch or missed out on the Wii U. That's pretty much an automatic sale for the game and sale for the system, because Mario Kart 8 and Mario Kart in general is a powerful system seller. And real quick, let me stick with the Switch for 1 second with the sales that have come out. Now, we don't have the big quarterly sales yet when I'm recording this, but we do have the Media Create sales. They track them, remember, every week and show us kind of what's happening by a week basis based on Switch and 3DS, PS4, and Xbox One sales. And it comes out for this past week, and the Switch sold more than every system combined. I'm not even kidding. If you look at the charts, it's pretty funny. The Switch has sold 48,694 units this past week, and every other one below that, you'll see a chart here. For example, 3DS 20,629, PS4 90,334, Vita 5164, 367, 262, and then the Xbox One with 68 units sold. Anyway, this gives us a good idea that, yes, the Switch is powerful in Japan, like we know. It has no signs of slowing down, actually. In fact, this is before Mario Kart comes out. Mario Kart comes out, it's going to be this constantly, where it is a constantly solid chart. As many as they can get out to Japan, they will sell through them. That's just the way it is right now. And I do think at this rate, it will pass the PS4 in Japan, not worldwide, like I said, in Japan in the next year and a half to 2 years at this rate. I mean, they're already outselling the PS4 handily this year, despite PS4 obviously having, 2 months ahead of it. But it's a new system. You got to give it some time to maybe cool off a little bit. But most of the games come out are based in Japan. I mean, I'm sure when Dragon Quest comes out on it, when you see a Monster Hunter eventually get announced for it, Mario Kart will do nothing but help sales. So it's definitely the Japan powerhouse that Nintendo wants. We just have to see what they can do in places like Europe and United States and Canada and all these other places. Japan is in their pocket. That's not an issue at this point. All we're going to do is watch the Switch handily outsell the other systems constantly and move forward to pretty much Japanese domination on that side of the globe. It's going to come down to Europe and United States. We'll see what happens from there in terms of the Switch sales. And it looks like Call of Duty is not the only franchise going back to its roots. If you remember Halo 5, it did not do, I think, as well as Microsoft wanted it to do, and that I think at this point is because they took the focus away from Master Chief. When I was playing it, I did kind of have that weird feeling like, I mean, I guess I play Halo for Master Chief because, he's an awesome protagonist to play as. And they kind of took that away in Halo 5, and myself and other people I know and talk to, they had that same issue. It looks like they understand this, they heard this, and it's all going to be all about Master Chief in Halo 6. And this was according to the series franchise director in an interview with Games TM magazine. We definitely marketed it in a way that we hoped was going to bring surprise. This is Frank O'Connor. But for some fans, and certainly fans of Master Chief, it was a huge disappointment because they wanted more Chief. And is that really a surprise? I mean, that's why it's so interesting to play Halo, because Master Chief is a good protagonist. If you actually read the books from Halo, like Halo Universe, he is an interesting person to read through. As John 117 he's not the best Spartan that was left over. In some ways, he was the luckiest Spartan that was left over, and his backstory is really interesting. And of course, he is the guy that shows up on the field, and the Covenant are actually scared of him. They call him a demon. So it's an awesome protagonist to play as. I think they kind of got off the rails, maybe tried to get a little too original with things in Halo 5, and they've obviously learned their lesson because Halo 6 seems to be Master Chief full speed ahead. So I'm excited for it. I would like to see where they go with the story for Master Chief, and at this point, how many more Halos can you get out of it with him? I don't know. Maybe they kind of finish him off at this point and move on, but it shows in Halo 5 it didn't work. The last bit of news is actually pretty awesome, so check this out. Forza Horizon 3, which of course is not the traditional Forza game. If you go back, it's always been like Forza 6, for example, was the track racing game where you do a lot of simulation racing. Horizon 3 is a little more out there. You're racing around through beaches and forests and everything. It's not your typical drive around the donut, racer, and that's fine. A lot of people like it for that. Well, it looks like they have taken the DLC to the next level, and I am very excited for this because they are mixing Forza with Hot Wheels. And this looks awesome. Check out this trailer here. This entire expansion is going to be based around an all-new campaign where you complete events on your way towards the ultimate stunt driving test, and you're trying to basically just do this massive stunt. And you can see here you're racing around loops that you would put together as kids, but remember those orange like racing tracks and stuff? Oh, I remember putting those together like crazy back in the day, trying to make jumps and loops, and they are really hitting that, to me anyway, that nostalgia bone. But how awesome is it? I mean, look, you drive down, you do loops and stuff like it's like it's old school Hot Wheels. They're even adding some Hot Wheels cars that were actually like designed and made as Hot Wheels. They even have like Bone Shaker, which was like a Hot Wheels car back in the day. And I mean, this is so cool. I like the look of this. This is a great idea to really invigorate that series further. Horizon 3 sold well. But of course, any game like this kind of slows down a little bit as we get out of its main release, and a very original expansion like this can really breathe life into this. People who maybe weren't going to buy the game, honestly, at this point, might go buy it because of this expansion. It just looks so different, unique. So let me know what you guys think about this expansion in particular, because I think it is one of the coolest ideas that they have had over there at the Forza headquarters with Turn 10 and everybody, and I am very interested to see how this plays out with the campaign as you're a stunt driver, race around loop-to-loops. Should be cool. I'm very, very excited to see it. And that's it for Newswave today, guys. Make sure you comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you want to ask me or anyone else in the community any questions, head on over to the subreddit at reddit.com/r/spawnwave. And overall, guys, it looks like it's going to be an interesting day today. Like I said, I'm going to really keep my ear to the ground here going forward, since we're supposed to have these quarterly reports from Nintendo and Sony. So I'm very interested to see what both of them come to the table with in terms of sales and all kinds of stuff there. So definitely Switch units. I think that's the thing we're really looking for, because right now we have all estimates for the most part, and we will know exactly how many are sold in every region. So this could be very interesting to see where the Switch is currently. So keep an eye out for that. I will as well, and you guys will definitely hear from me on this channel about that. Also, let me know, like I said, guys, about the Forza expansion. I'm very curious about that as well. That's it for now, guys. I will see you next time.